And here we go. Finally, after what felt like probably a year, I think, since I finished the question arcs of Umineko, we're continuing with the answer arcs. Now this will be slightly different. Not only have I grown as a person since I last played Umineko, but also my style of reading visual novels, I guess, changed, at least on YouTube. So I'm gonna do this similar to how I read Shibuya Scramble. Gonna do this similar to how I read Seikonia. I'm gonna read, and whenever I have random thoughts, I'm gonna interject them. I'm not strictly gonna read and just read, basically, and shut up. Although it would be quite well for me to do so sometimes. Anyway, we'll just start. We only have episode 5 unlocked. There's 8 episodes in total, but it starts with 5 with the answer arcs. And it's the end of the Golden Witch. You can look forward to that one, since I think episode 5 is one of the... I don't want to say the better ones of the answer arcs, but definitely one of the best. So, end of the Golden Witch. Good morning. Please enjoy this new game by a new game master at your leisure. However, the game has already reached the climax, the culprit has been cornered, and there's nothing left to do but await the final checkmate. But for that very reason, there must be something for you to spot looking down on it from afar. The difficulty is fairly easy. What could possibly deceive you after all this time? Now, if you're going in blind with Umineko, everything is deceiving you, trust me. Yep, story is fictional, we know that. Let's see if I installed the patches correctly. I'm again playing with the voice patch and the PS3 sprite patch. It's the way I like to play the game the most. I know there's different opinions out there on that. Oh yeah, usually I think the answer arcs are in a different visual novel style with a text box at the bottom, but I opted for the regular Umineko style with the text all over the screen, basically, since it gives you more visibility of the text, I think, and that's the most important thing on visual novels, isn't it? This makes me realize in the first place how much I missed Umineko, and especially how much I missed the voice actor of Beatrice, because Jesus Christ, the delivery, even if I don't necessarily understand all the words, I understand most of them so far, it's just amazingly done, isn't it? They sure know how to turn up the hype with the music and the sound effects, right? That lonely tone was the desolate sound of the wind blowing by. The glittering rose petals on these bushes were all golden. The cloud of gold butterflies that had once danced through this golden rose garden like fluttering rose petals was no longer anywhere to be seen. The master of the golden land is the golden witch, Beatrice. She might be called inhumane and cruel, arrogant and outrageous, or perhaps naive and simple. That laugh of hers, which lost its grace more and more and more. No, sorry, only 2 more. The longer it continued. I feel like I lost the ability to read since I last read Umineko. I'm really sorry, I usually don't make that many mistakes. Maybe I'm just a little bit nervous since it's been a while. The laugh could no longer be heard. The Golden Witch Beatrice sat like a doll, resting in a deck chair, adorned as beautifully as the golden rose garden itself. She wasn't relaxing there. Her eyes were empty. She didn't respond to any questions. Even so, she was not permitted to sleep. Beatrice sat like a doll. Her hair was down, and Virgilia was carefully tending to it with a comb. The usual Beata would surely have spent his time complaining about this and that regarding her hairstyle. However, she made no response, showed no reaction. So it really only looked like Virgilia was combing the golden hair of a large doll. There was a table alongside them. On it sat a chessboard, along with a jumble of black and white pieces locked in a closely fought battle. However, the setup looked somehow different from normal chess. Maybe the game was similar, though not identical. And on the other side, sitting back in his chair as he contemplated his next move, was a young man. No, perhaps it wasn't his next move he contemplated. Every once in a while he would change the positions of the pieces, reconsidering the situation after every change. Maybe he was reconstructing previous games, trying to discover the thought process behind the moves that had been made. In the past, Kinsu, the Ushiromiya family head, once said that learning chessboard arrangements was like taking a journey through the thoughts of the old masters. Ushiromiya Battler was on a journey. A search for the thought process that had led the Golden Witch to create this arrangement and make these moves. Battler took a black piece that should have been moved forward and returned it to its original place, sighing deeply. Battler's pieces were white. However, on this chessboard, the black encampment was on Battler's side. He was reconstructing that arrangement, trying to play Beata's role. Even Battler didn't expect that Beata would respond to that statement. Or rather, he was pretending to talk to himself, thinking there might still be some chance of her responding. Beata's eyes reflected nothing, and her mouth told nothing. After begging him to kill her, the Golden Witch had become a corpse that had given up on life. She wasn't sleeping. She couldn't step down from this game and was therefore forbidden to sleep. So those words must have reached her ears. However, they probably hadn't reached her heart. The Golden Witch would not sneer at Battler's moves, nor would she praise them or belittle them. By now, Beatrice was nothing more than a living doll. Even so, she would glance at him every once in a while. It would be an empty glance, but a glance nonetheless. Sometimes she would seem to make some sort of gesture, or even move her lips. However, her movements never managed to communicate anything to Battler.
どうやったらこの局面でこの指し手になるわけだ。わけがわからねえんだよ。お前の指し手はよ。
ベアとバトラ君が話しかけていますよ。
なんとか言えよ。クスクスとかゲラゲラとか。いつもの黄色い笑いでいいから。
Can you believe it? That shrill laugh of Beata's will never be heard again. However, even if she couldn't answer, his voice surely reached her. That was what Battler believed as he said these words. So he said it again.
どうやったらこの局面でこの指し手になるわけだ。わけがわからねえぜ。お前の指し手はよ。
この子の考えることはわけがわかりませんか?
Virgilia answered in her disciple's stead. Up to this point, she had done her best to avoid speaking for Beato. After all, there was a chance that Beato would respond in some way, and Virgilia didn't want to be the one to steal that chance. So, Battler was going to have to bear with this silence, until Beato herself answered. Virgilia could no longer bear to watch Battler like this. Besides, Battler also wanted to hear what Virgilia had to say. He believed that conversation would reach Beato's heart.
ああ、さっぱりだな。ベアトの立場になって、こうして駒を動かせば動かすほどにわからなくなる。
A serial murder following an epitaph. With that as a victory condition, I tried reconstructing the games from the Witcher's side, but I never ended up making the moves Beato did. In those games, I could find several incomprehensible moves that clearly worked against that victory condition.
さっぱりわからねえ。こいつの思考を探る旅路はあまりに険しすぎるぜ。
でも、あなたは投げ出さないのですね。
ああ、約束した。
Kill me. Let me die.
俺はこいつを安らかに死なせてやると約束した。そしてそれは俺にしかできない。
Beatrice's right ankle was bound with a heavy, cold steel shackle. It wasn't tied to anything, so it didn't restrict her movement. However, it symbolized restriction. It was a visualization of the bonds that prevented her from leaving the game until she either won or lost. And the shackle was probably hurting her. The mercilessly cold shackle tormented her over and over inside her waking dream. So, there was never any sign of relief in her empty expression. Her eyelids would sometimes tremble like she was having a nightmare, and every once in a while she would let out a pained gasp. Unless I win, Beato will never be released from the curse that prevents her from sleeping peacefully.
良いのですか?
It's funny how he went from I want to beat you because you're hurting my family and friends to I want to beat you to release you from your pain.
第5のゲームはもう始まっているようですよ。
興味ね。
Why should I take part in any game unless Beato is my opponent? If that's the only alternative, then it's a much better use of my time to reconstruct previous games while taking a journey in search of Beato's thought process. Seems quite obsessed, doesn't it?
次のゲームマスターは私がやるわ。
Oh, nice. Best girl enters.
異存ある?
Second best girl doesn't have as much as a role in this one, I think, Angie. And then third best girl, I think, makes a first appearance here. Yeah, third best girl. God, I love her. Just because she's so weird.
ないわよね。
No objection, no.
依存だらけよ。ベアトは戦いを放棄して人事不正。ベアトの不先輩でゲームオーバーでしょ。
確かにベアとはいろいろとあったんで、今はちょっぴりノックアウト気味。でも戦う気力を失ったわけじゃない。だからつまり私は介助役ってわけ。わかる?
Beato was lying down on a deck chair, almost as though she was sleeping. However, she wasn't sleeping. And she wasn't awake either. She was nothing more than a living doll that had given up on victory, who had asked Battler to perform her last rites, and who had surrendered everything. Of course, if everyone just sat around the next game, the fifth game would never be made ready. So, Lambda Delta had succeeded Beato as the next game master and announced that she'd prepare the next game.
ふざけるな。 これは俺とベアとのゲームだぞ。お前らどこの誰か知らねえが勝手に話を進めるんじゃねえ。
あんたに意見は求めてないわ。どうすんのベル？受けるの？受けないの？
いいわ。あんたが引き継ぎなさい。
なんだと、ふざけるな。お前ら何者か知らねえが俺とベアトを無視して勝手に話を進めるんじゃね
え。落ち着きなさいよ。確かにプレイヤーが変われば指し手も変わる。あんたにとっては戸惑うことも多いかもしれないけど、それでも大きなヒントになりうるでしょ。
知らねえよ。勝手なこと言って仕切ってんじゃね
え。ベアとのゲームを4つも繰り返して何もわからないんでしょ。ならプレイヤーが変わるのは大きなヒントになると思うけれど。
大きなお世話だ。これはベアトが用意し俺を対戦相手に指定した俺たちのゲームだ。どこから湧いてきたのかもしれないお前らにかき回されるのはごめんだ。
ならベアトを起こして次の準備をさせて。できる？
ベアトはしばらく起きねえよ。それに新しいゲームなんて必要ねえ。あいつがこれまでに出題してきた4つのゲームの譜面だけで十分だ。仮に第5のゲームがあるとしてもそれはベアトが出題し俺に挑むものだけで十分だ。お前らには何の関係もない。
Battler couldn't hide his irritation at the two witches called LambdadeltaYT and Bernkastel, who had shown up well after the game's start and who were now trying to take charge on their own, almost as if this game was like actually their own game, right? It looked like these witches were of an even higher rank than Beato. So high in fact that even Beato's teacher, Virgilia, couldn't even come close. Battler had a feeling he'd seen these two several times before. However, this was the first time he'd known their names and spoken to them directly.
ベアトを起こせず、あんたに次のゲームを準備もできない。だから私が次のゲームを用意するわけ。私たちはね、いつ正気を取り戻すかもわからないベアトにいつまでも付き合ってられるほど気が長くないの。ね、ベルン？
退屈はごめんなの。イライラするほどに。
お前が退屈がろうが俺たちは知ったことじゃね
え。まあまあ、このパーフェクトなラムダデルタ様に任せなさい。私がゲームマスターを引き継ぐ。大丈夫よ。あんまり絶対完璧にはプレイしないわよ。ベアトっぽくわけのわかんないフェイクや尻尾、ボーナスヒントをいっぱい用意してあげる。ベアトの世界をより理解するための大きなヒントにしてあげるわよ。
Letting my voiceless emotions explode, I slammed the table hard. The two witches didn't flinch at all. One grinned. The other looked indifferent, as though nothing had happened. The two of them just stared at me silently, as though they were reproaching me.
何？不満？あんたは私による第5のゲームを降りるっての？それって不先輩？
バトラは降りないわよ。もちろん第5のゲームにも参加するわ。
勝手に決めるんじゃね
え。Think of your little sister, you dumb fuck.
お前らに俺は付き合わない。知ったことじゃない。
ならやっぱり不先輩ってことよね。このゲームは魔女側の勝ち。人間は屈服ってことでお開きでいいかしら。
降りるなら不先輩でゲーム終了だけどいいの？たった一人残された妹が無限の世界のすべてでたどる不幸な境遇を確定させたいのならそれも選択よ。
When Bernkastel mentioned Angie, Battler's expression changed instantly.
てめえ、エンジェのことを気安く口にするんじゃねえ。
あなたにこの私、奇跡の魔女ベルンカステルが味方しているからこそ、エンジェにはひょっとしたら家族が帰ってくるかもしれない奇跡の余地が残されてるのよ。
But it's not gonna be this Angie, it's gonna be another one. It's not gonna be your sister either, you don't really exist, dude.
あなたが自らそれを捨てて、エンジェの無限の未来、すべてを不幸なものに確定するのもまた、私には一興だけれども。
I vaguely understood what she was saying. Until I win in Beatrice's game, I'll remain trapped in this bizarre world. And if I abandon that victory, then most certainly my parents and I will never return to Angie. For Angie's sake, even though I know that the witches are toying with me, I must keep on fighting.
なーに？その不満そうな顔。自分の妹をグズグズのひき肉にされた怒り、もう忘れちゃったの？プチプチブチブチ。無数の焼けたペンチで引きちぎって細切れにしていくあの光景。今度はちゃんと真正面で見ないとダメ？
And she is the one that calls herself our ally, you know? Bernkastel pointed the palm of her right hand upwards. As she did, a pale light gathered there, and some kind of blue glowing crystal appeared there. A scene was reflected on its sharp surface, but it wasn't the scene that surrounded him now. If you look deep into that crystal, that fragment, then you would probably learn what was reflected on the... If you stared at it, then you'd surely see the end Angie finally reached after waiting 12 years and giving up everything for the sake of her beloved brother. The scene of her death froze, as her entire body was torn to bits while she still lived. Without thinking, he grabbed at her collar. But as soon as he touched it with that which made up her form, it disappeared like foam on the waves. Then, as naturally as though she'd been there from the beginning, Bernkastel was leaning against a distant wall.
あなたがゲームを降りるなら、これはかけらでなく、確定した現実になる。その未来を紡ぐのは私じゃないわ。あなた自身よ。あなたが決めなさい。最愛の妹の未来をどうしたいのかを。
Battler's fists shook with anger, but even if he swung them down, he wouldn't be able to hit Bernkastel. This witch was like a phantom, or a cat who wouldn't even let someone pet her if she didn't wish for it. And she was telling the truth. For Angie's sake, I can't step down from this fight, even if these unpleasant witches hijack the game board.
さすがベルン。脅し方もえぐいわね。そういうことよ、バトラー。あんたにはゲームを降りることなんて許されてないの。あんたもペアとも私たちの退屈を紛らわせるゲーム版のコマでしかない。あんたのそのわけのわかんない怒りやイラつきさえも私たちには退屈を紛らわす最高のお菓子。まあ、その程度の怒りじゃ駄菓子程度だけどね。
30円で2枚入ってるカレー味のポテトせんべい程度ね。
魔女ともね
え。エンジェのためにも戦いなさい。そしてベアとのためにもでしょ。
In a way that was admonishing, or perhaps babying, Like the headache you get after eating something too sweet. Ben Castle tormented Battler and smiled. By now the host of this tea party, Beate, was absent. The guest witches were already making themselves at home.
どうすんの？後ろ宮バトラー。運命に屈しちゃう？降りちゃいなさいよ。魔女の駒にして遊ばれるなんてもうごめんなんでしょ？ベルンの駒は辛いわよ。きっとあんたもエンジェみたいに使い捨てにされるわよ。
あなたに降りる選択肢は与えてない。妹の未来のために戦い続けるの。私は味方よ。その未来にたどり着けるよう、あなたが勝利するまでサポートするわ。私が退屈するまで永遠に。
That's not eternity though, is it? Don't giggle at me like that. I can't let her provocation and cajolery rile me up. These witches know I get mad easily, and they're trying to take advantage of that. Battler withstood it all, and finally relaxed his clenched fists.
第5のゲームとやらが始めたいなら勝手にやればいい。好きにしろ。
好きにするわよ。あれれ、どこ行くのよ。
Even though Battler acknowledged his fifth game, he turned his back on them, much to Lambda Delta's surprise.
お前がベアトの代役を務めるってんなら、そこのベルンカステルとかいう魔女が俺の代役を務めるのも勝手だろ。
道理ね。そうじゃないと不先輩になってしまう。
何よそれ。私が作る渾身のエピソード5をあんた無視するっての？失礼しちゃう失礼しちゃ
う。バトラーはしばらく休憩するそうよ。それまでの間、私がプレイヤーの代役を務める。それでどう？バトラー。
そうしやがれ。
なに、ラムダ。間抜けなバトラじゃなくて、私がプレイヤーだと遊んでくれないの？
That one sentence, "What's wrong, Lambda?" resonates with me from deep within, you know.
そんなわけないわ。ベルンと一緒に遊べて嬉しいわよ。さあさあ、遊びましょう遊びましょう。ラムダデルタ様の超ハイパーでキュートに可愛いエピソード5を一緒に遊びましょうよ。
一応ベアトの作った世界なのよ。世界観ぶち壊しにしてないでしょうね。
大丈夫だってば。私そういうのの空気は読める方なのよ。ちゃんとベアトっぽい世界観でもっと面白い物語に仕上げてみせたわ。バトラも休憩終わったら早く戻ってくるのよ。見逃すともったいないわよ。ベアトの秘密に迫れるようなボーナスヒントをたっぷり用意してるんだから。と見せかけてミスリード満載でますますに煙に巻く気なんだけどね。ちょっと、こらバトラー、魔女の話聞いてんの
Without answering, Battler disappeared into the darkness. After shrugging and cackling, the witches immediately started playing with the game board they had stolen from Beato.